Today we're going to talk about comparing integers, and also we're going to do a little bit of review on order of operations. So let's start with this particular problem. You probably will recall that the order of operations uses the phrase PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Now if you have something like this problem here, and you've got a fraction involved, you want to do everything in the numerator, or in other words, in the top part of the problem, first. But we're still going to use our PEMDAS. So let's look at the top of the problem. We have parentheses here, 4 plus 7, so we're going to work with that. So 4 plus 7 gives us 11. So we're going to rewrite the problem as 2 times 11 minus 2 times 3 all over 5 minus 3. Now, we're still in the numerator. We haven't finished up with that yet. We have multiplication, subtraction, and multiplication. Well, we need to do multiplication first. That comes before subtraction. 2 times 11 gives us 22, and 2 times 3 gives us 6. So we'll put the subtraction sign in between, and we still have 5 minus 3 in the denominator. Let's continue. We have to finish with the numerator. 22 minus 6 gives us 16. And now we have 16 over 5 minus 3. Now we can go ahead and work with the denominator. Well, 5 minus 3 gives us 2. So we have 16 divided by 2, or 16 over 2, and that simplifies to 8. So we do everything in the numerator first, then do everything in the denominator, and then either reduce or divide if you can. Let's look at this problem here. Again, we want to do everything in the numerator first. When we're working with PEMDAS, we start with our innermost parentheses, if there's more than one set, or if there's one set inside the other. So we're going to start with 16 plus 2, which gives us 18. My pen is not working terribly well. Let's write down the rest of the problem. Now in the parentheses, let's see what we have here. We have 72 plus 18 divided by 3. Well, division comes first, so 18 divided by 3 gives us 6. So now in those parentheses we're left with 72 plus 6. I'm just going to write that up above. And 72 plus 6 gives us 78. So now we've simplified 72 plus 6 down to one number, 78. So we have 5 plus 78 over 4 squared minus 16. Well, let's finish up the numerator. 5 plus 78 gives us 83. So we have 83 over 4 squared minus 16. Oh, and I'm sorry, that should have been a 6. I didn't mean to write 16. So let's just change that. You probably caught that before I did. So we have 83 over 4 squared minus 6. Now, in the denominator, we have exponents and subtraction. So we do the exponents first. 4 squared gives us 16. So we have 16 minus 6. Well, we can continue to finish that problem. 16 minus 6 gives us 10, so we have 83 over 10. And now our last step is to go ahead and either reduce or divide. Let's divide that out. 83 divided by 10 gives us 8.3. Next thing we want to talk about, absolute value is the distance a number falls from 0 on the number line. And one thing about absolute value you need to remember is it's always positive. So if here's my number line, I have positive numbers that go to the right. Here are my positive numbers, and negative numbers go to the left. And I'm going to run out of room, but you get the idea here. All right, so if I want to find the absolute value of negative 2, and these lines here, which are parallel to one another, and that wrap around our number are the symbol we use for absolute value. There's your symbol. So the absolute value of negative 2 is how far negative 2 falls from 0. Well, here's negative 2. How many spaces is it away from 0? It's 1, 2. So the absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2. The absolute value of negative 5. Here's negative 5 right here. It's a little off center. Negative 5 falls how many spaces away from 0? It falls 5 spaces away. So the absolute value of negative 5 is positive 5. The absolute value of positive 2. How many spaces away from 0 does positive 2 fall? It falls 2 spaces away. So you're getting the idea. It's just the number, but the positive version. You don't really need a number line anymore. The absolute value of negative 127 is just 127. The absolute value of 0 is just 0. And the absolute value of 452 is 452. Moving on to the next page. Again, just like I said before, positive numbers are to the right of 0, and negative numbers are to the left of 0. And this makes up the real number line. A symbol pointing to the left means less than. A symbol pointing to the right means greater than. And what I want us to do is place the appropriate symbol, less than or greater than, between the numbers. Now, here's the key. The further the numbers fall to the left, the smaller they become. So the farther to the left a number is on the number line, the smaller it is. The farther to the right it falls, the bigger it is. When you're filling in greater than or less than symbols, this is one thing that's going to help you. The arrow always points to the smaller number. All right, so now if I want to put greater than or less than between negative 3 and 6, negative 3 falls farther to the left on the number line. So the arrow is going to point to negative 3. For 2 and 7, ask yourself which one's smaller. Well, 2 is smaller, so the arrow will point to the 2. 4 and negative 4, which one's smaller? Negative 4 is, so the arrow will point to the negative 4. Negative 20 and negative 16. Think of it in terms of temperatures if you want. Which one is colder? That's the same as saying which one is smaller. Which temperature is colder? Well, negative 20 is colder, so the arrow will point to negative 20. 23 and 45. Which one's smaller? 23 is, so the arrow will point to the 23. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.